Welcome back to Crazy Stupid Midlife with Danielle and Renee, where we are rebranding midlife one episode at a time.
Today we are thrilled to welcome Dr. Noriko Udea-Lang, a Japanese acupuncturist and holistic healer. She brings a unique perspective on menopause, including insights into the Japanese concept of konenki and how culture shapes our experience of aging.
Originally from Japan, Dr. Udea-Lang is a doctor of acupuncture and Chinese medicine and a certified functional medicine practitioner, which I'm very excited about. Her journey into holistic healing began after successfully treating her own chronic back pain through acupuncture, a life-changing experience that led her to shift from pharmaceutical research to integrative wellness.
Now based in San Diego, Dr. Udea-Lang blends her Japanese heritage with modern clinical expertise, specializing in gentle Japanese acupuncture, preventive care, and nervous system health. Dr. Udea-Lang's approach is rooted in compassion, precision, and a deep belief in the body's innate ability to heal itself.
We are so excited to welcome her to Crazy Stupid Midlife. Welcome. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me here.
So Noriko, can you tell us a little bit about your journey, how you came to practice acupuncture, and what drew you into this kind of healing work?
So I came to this healing because I have my own back pain after I had my kids. I did all sorts of like testing. They sent me to the regular doctor. They did a like X-ray, they testing movement, everything, and they prescribed me like pain medication. It didn't work. Like they prescribed me opioid. And it didn't work. And I was nursing my children. And I couldn't take those medications. And one day the doctor said that, like, oh, it's not working. Let's do a surgery. And I was like, what? Surgery? Like, You don't know what's going on. And you want to open up my back and hopefully you know what's going on. And then, no, thank you. And that time, my friend she's still acupuncturist. She said, like, why don't you try acupuncture? Well, I don't like needles. I don't like.
That's one of my questions. What if someone doesn't like needles?
Yeah. I don't like to be pincushion, but she said it's gonna work. Just try me. So I went to see her 2 times a week, quite intensively, and she prescribed me Chinese herbs. 3 months later, I had no pain. The pain, I couldn't move. I couldn't get up from the bed. Crying, I couldn't nurse my children. I didn't have any pain. And then that moment, you know what? I need to study this. I need to know what this is. And, I was working at the pharmaceutical company. I was a preclinical. So we test the medication before we try to the human being. But this is holistic. This is more alternative. And this has been going on more than like century of history of the medication or truly believing alternative. So my husband had a faith in me. He quit his job.
Wow.
We saved 6 months. If he didn't get a job, we should be okay. So we saved the money. We moved to San Diego.
From where? Where did you?
From Reno, Nevada.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I used to live in Nevada.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, like an hour from Reno.
Oh, really?
In
Where?
Fallon, Nevada.
Oh, my gosh.
Have you heard of it?
Yes.
Wow.
So Fallon has like a cantaloupe festival, right?
Yeah, small world.
That is a small world.
That is crazy.
So when you had your children and you had the back pain, what age were you?
I was 30.
30. And then were you already in your career at that point and had done your education?
I was done biology degree and then I was working at the pharmaceutical company.
Okay, in Reno.
In Reno.
Okay, and how come San Diego? Was there special courses or research here that was best?
No. So because of my age, I graduated college long time ago. I went to a couple different acupuncture school because Reno, Nevada doesn't have one. Well, Nevada doesn't have one that time. And I went to San Francisco, I went to Oregon, I went to Washington, and then all the schools said that because I'm old, I have to restart the bachelor degree. And I was, no, I'm not starting my bachelor degree. But the school in San Diego said, you can just start the program.
Oh, okay, good.
You don't need any restart of your degree. You already have a anatomy, physiology, you already have a biology, you already have this. So you're good to go. So we moved to San Diego. That's why we moved to San Diego.
And you didn't have any family here?
We didn't have any family here.
And how long ago was that?
It's 10 years ago, more than 10 years ago.
10 years.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's same. I moved to United States. I didn't have any family here.
You were here, but you came by yourself?
Yes, I did.
Wow.
And where did you meet your husband?
Reno, Nevada.
Was it at school?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Was it at UNR?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's crazy. So that's where you got your biology degree?
Yes.
Okay. And when did you graduate from UNR?
I graduated 2002.
So you move here and you have this whole new world, and it's
Yes.
all focused around you becoming an acupuncturist.
Yes.
Okay.
Isn't that crazy?
Tell us a little bit
That
about
is
that
crazy.
journey. Was there any crying going on during this time, or was it just all joyful bliss and learning new things?
No, back in school was difficult because all my cohort was very young.
Yeah.
I'm the oldest. Well, I wasn't the oldest, but I'm the oldest of one. It was tough. The memorization of the studying was hard.
Because you had 2 children at home.
I had 2 children at home,
Right.
but that's not the only reason. I'm getting old.
Right.
My brain is not working as good, and my husband still didn't have a job. So I needed to finish 4th semester is good grades. Like they gave me a what's the word for it? Probation.
Okay.
So if I didn't take all A's, they're gonna kick me out.
Oh my goodness.
So I was on that, okay, I can do this. So I had a glass of wine. I study now.
Always starts there.
It always starts there. So I have a glass of wine, textbook after we eat dinner. Kids went to bed, glass of wine, textbook, put my headphone in, study for 2 hours every day.
Wow.
And I finished that like first term with all A's. So like, I'm good to go. And
So
That's
how long
amazing.
was the education?
education itself was like 4 years.
Okay. So you're a so in that 4 years you became a doctor
Yes.
of medicine.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
It was hard. And luckily, my husband got a job from my older son's classmate dad.
Okay.
So it was kind of like, we were lucky in that situation.
Does he still work?
Yes, he does. Yeah, he still works for the company.
And how old is your son?
He is graduating this year.
From
Oh, wow.
high school? Or
High school,
high
MC,
school?
yeah, Mount Carmel High
Oh,
School.
yeah.
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 So, okay, yeah, my other one is a sophomore right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
They must be really proud of you to see you go through that.
They definitely saw me down because I failed on the first board exam. And it was really, really tough for me because I was aced all the tests.
Yeah.
I graduated like close to 4.0, and failing on the board exam was really tough for me.
But I feel like the board exams, because the same for nursing, for the nurse practitioner board exams, they are so difficult and not really what you learn, I feel like sometimes. So I just feel like the board exams are just, it's like archaic. They need to update them to what we're actually taught in school and what we're learning.
Yes.
I feel like it's just, it's a little off. So I can understand that.
Yeah. So, but my son said, that, Mom, what's going to hurt you to try one more time? And
That's
right.
amazing that
That's
he
right.
said that.
Yeah. So
How old was he when he said that?
He was still elementary school.
Oh,
Isn't that crazy how wise?
so you must have said, you or your husband must have said that to him
Yeah.
so many times for him to be like, no, Mom, what's the hurt? You just do it again.
yeah, just try one more time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is such a great life skill, right? You want to try again, even if
Right.
you fail or fall down or.
Yeah.
But we learn the most when we fail anyway.
I think so. I think that time I made my life very habit, like wake up this time,
Yeah.
do yoga first, and take the kids to school. Like I made it the habit instead of studying. It's more like, okay, this is my habit of learning. More like try not to anxiety take over my studying habit. It was huge. I'm high functioning anxiety. Like my anxiety goes up
Yeah.
really quick. So
Has it always been like that or more in midlife, would you say?
I think I noticed like midlife. I'm sure I was, but I noticed that my anxiety is more high. I think maybe after I had children.
Yeah. Oh, yes.
I mean, that makes sense.
Yeah, it does. Mm-hmm.
You have lives that you're responsible for. But I think midlife does trigger an increase in a lot of those emotions, especially anxiety.
Yes, I think so. I think anxiety is huge for lots of women and men.
Right.
Yeah. Men
It's
just
true.
don't talk about it as much,
Yeah.
I think.
I think so.
Or they mask it as something else, like anger, or they withdraw.
I think for men is either close out or seek something else to hide their
Yeah.
anxiousness or drink themselves out.
I would agree. Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
definitely true.
Okay, so we have some questions now that we have your history, and thank you for sharing that. That's a great journey.
Incredible.
So I think, Renee, what questions do you have for her?
So I'll start off with your philosophy. What's your philosophy when it comes to wellness, especially for women in their 40s, 50s, and beyond?
When it comes to my philosophy is keep it balanced. Often we take our wellness or our health is just as take advantage. Like we are healthy, so we're not gonna do anything. But if you take care right now while you're healthy, you can prolong the health. So you don't have to suffer your negligence of being healthy. Wealth comes, from being healthy. If you're not healthy, there's nothing you can do. No matter how much money you have,
Yeah.
if you're not healthy,
Doesn't
there's
matter.
nothing you can do. So being my age right now, I really look back. I want to be healthy. I don't want to be like I picture myself. I want to be on my son's college graduation. I want to be sitting not on the way back on the seat. I need to be on the oxygen tank, or I can't walk. Or on his wedding, I want to dance with him. Or when they have a children, my grandchildren, I want to take care, or I want to go park with them. But if I'm not healthy, I cannot do that. And this is the midlife is the turning point. Notice how you take care of yourself will change your rest of your life. So my philosophy is try to bring the optimal condition to their body. When I treat them, what's your goal? How you want to live your life? And let's be there. I'm going to be a cheerleader for you, but you need to work on what do you want to be, or how healthy you want to be. It's up to you, and I'm there to help however I can to assist.
So I have a question. We have to back up just a little bit. So there's acupuncture, there's acupressure, and can you explain the difference?
Of course.
And then what specifically you do acupuncture. So specifically why you choose that, or do they go together? And then also your functional medicine, like what each one of those means, and then what you do with those.
So I was massage therapist before I become acupuncturist. I've been doing massage for long time, and I was using acupressure. The difference between acupuncture and acupressure is we use similar location, but puncture is we use the needle to the point. Pressure is you use the finger or massage gun or massage machine or like anything, gua sha or anything to stimulate the area, but we use the same point. I incorporate functional medicine because people like to see if I could see that like the person is off on the gut health.
Yeah.
Well, I speculate based on my diagnosis, which is taking a pulse, looking at the tongue, checking their abdomens, and yes, this person, something is off with their gut health. The recent I see most is allergen of the food, and
Interesting.
they don't want to say like when I see the people who has the bumpy skin,
Oh, yeah.
that,
On the back of the arm at the
back of the
top.
arm.
Yeah, that's
And
super
then
common.
They say, oh, I always have this. No, you are allergic to some food. That's why it's showing the skin. Let's see what's going on. Functional medicine is so to find out what is they're allergic to or what they are
The root of the
Yeah.
problem.
of the problem. So people test their function of the body.
And how do you do the tests? Do you do blood test or?
So it depends on like if I think that person needs the blood test or a stool test,
Okay.
urine test, saliva test.
Okay.
There's why that person is not optimal condition. Is that just a hormone? Is that like if they say that I always wake up 3 a.m. in the morning, then ding ding, maybe cortisol is not working well.
Right.
Then let's check a hormone and see if that is the root cause.
Yeah.
Or if that person said, like, I always get bloated stomach after I eat the pasta, then that I would, ding, 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 maybe that person has a gut issues. The person who say it will help me to guide it to which test I would test. But at the same time, when people see it, oh yes, I did have the gut issues. I did have hormone issues. When they see the test, it's not gonna be, oh, voodoo doctor said, don't eat this, so I'm not gonna eat this. Oh, I have to press here because it's just have a test of their confirmation. They can visualize. So I like to incorporate everything.
Yeah.
However, insurance don't cover functional medicine
Right.
testing.
Yeah.
But does insurance cover acupuncture?
Some of the insurance covers.
Yeah, I
Do
think
you
mine
take
does.
insurance?
I do not take insurances. The reason behind is I used to work at the hospital, and you have to see certain amount of the patient at a certain amount of the time. And I like to see what's going on. Well, I want to see why the person is here to see me
And spend the time
and
with
spend
them.
the time with them. And I cannot do it in a 15 minutes.
Oh, for sure. That's
So
not
the
enough
insurance
time.
dictates the way you provide care.
Yes.
And I feel the same way. So I totally understand you saying that.
It's not, I don't want to take care of them,
Yeah.
but I cannot take care of them
The way you.
the way I want to take
Right.
care. Like I treat the patient the way I want to be taken care of. I always do how treat the patient if I were that person. So if the reason I do gentle needle is I don't like to be harsh needle.
So there's a difference.
There's a difference between people's. All the acupuncturist has a style. Some people just let's go into the point. Athlete likes to be heavy needle, but I believe the person's body knows what to do. So just gentle touch should be enough for the body to notice. Oh, I went to off the line. I have to go back to my optimal health. That's why I like a gentle needle, because I like to be treated with a gentle needle.
And who
I-
treats you? Do you have someone or do you
I
treat
do.
yourself?
I do have somebody
okay.
else. She moved to Arizona, which is a bummer for me, but
Can you treat yourself?
I can treat myself.
Yeah, yeah.
But it's difficult when I need
Yeah.
to treat.
The back.
Yeah, the back is
Yeah.
a little bit
Yeah.
difficult.
Or the neck, or yeah. So the other question I had was, as a Japanese woman, do you find that your cultural background influences how you approach healing and health?
Yes, definitely. I notice, because I've been here so long to United States, and when I go back to Japan, I feel like, yes, this is where I belong. But when I come to United States, like, oh, this is where I belong. But Japanese, we do the things kind of like expected. Like we have a word called a kizukai and kokorozukai, which is we assume that person, if I did this for that person, they can move their life smoother, so we'll do it for them without asking. So
Give me an example.
if I clean like dishes before next person comes, next person can use the kitchen in a clean space. Or if I pick it up this garbage in the bathroom,
Right.
the next person who comes in can use the clean bathroom.
It's like a courtesy, or what's the word we're looking for? It's kindness.
It's almost like paying it forward in a way.
Maybe, yeah, but like it's not somebody told you to do it,
Right.
or you don't know because you want to be appreciated by.
And you're
next
not doing
person.
it for something in return.
Right. We just do
kindness.
It. Yeah, just kindness, but it's not showing off. It's just what I was raised to do it. So when it comes to the treatment, I would treat the patient as if that person was me. So this is another reason I like to stay with them. I only see one patient in like I don't see multiple patients in the hour. I see one patient at the one hour. And I just hoping every time I treat them, I'm hoping them that like they're gonna get better. It's almost like giving a good juju all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Positive vibes.
Positive vibes.
Yeah.
And I just want people to feel when they leave my office, oh yeah, I feel good. When you use the bathroom, when you come in, bathroom is huge for me because I noticed a lot differences between my country and then Japan and the United States. I noticed huge. Public bathroom in Japan is very clean. It's not because we don't use it. We use it. But if we make a mess, we clean it up for
Oh,
next
interesting.
person.
Yeah, it's
We're
interesting.
messy here. Yeah.
But this public bathroom, especially if you go gas station,
Oh, yeah.
It's really bad.
you're like,
You don't
oh
want
my
to go
gosh.
there.
It's almost like you don't want to go.
Right.
You have to hold your breath the whole time.
But the bathroom in public, especially like rest stop bathroom in Japan, it's very clean.
Wow.
Because the person who used it is using that concept
Being
where they're going to clean it
Yeah.
before to make it easier for the next person.
Right. So we use it that like as if that person was the first time when they come to the bathroom, so it's really clean.
That's amazing.
And when you leave, we check one more time, make sure we didn't make a mess.
Wow.
And does that go for both genders?
Yes.
In Japan?
Oh, not that like I check men's bathroom all the time.
Yeah.
But
You know what I mean? Like, do men also do the same?
men also do the
Yeah,
same.
that's
My
interesting.
husband was amazed that like how clean the bathroom is. My younger son, older son, I forgot which one it is. Like they were taking the pictures in the bathroom, how clean that it is.
Wow.
So
Because they
You
were
wanna
so
visit
surprised.
Japan. Everyone loves Japan. Every time anyone ever comes back from Japan, they love it. I've never been, but I would love to.
Yeah, my daughter wants to go for her spring break, so I think we're going next year.
oh yay, yeah.
Yeah, so I'll have to pick your brain
Yes, please do.
about where to go and what to visit. So I think we're on to you, Danielle.
Okay. So, what kinds of symptoms or struggles do you commonly see in your female midlife clients?
Anxiety, insomnia, bloating, and fatigue.
Fatigue's a big one.
Fatigue is a big one. That like they just tired all the time. So they have coffee and another coffee
Right.
and
another coffee.
And how many coffee you drinking? But I see the lots of women fatigue, anxiety, insomnia.
Insomnia's huge.
Insomnia is
Because that
huge.
affects so much too. Then you're
If you're not
fatigued,
sleeping.
and then you're angry, and then you're irritable, and then it just rolls down after
and
that.
uncontrollable anger.
Yeah,
That is another one. Like they,
mine.
yeah, they. I have seen that like and I have it too. That around 3:00, like, oh, am I the one who was really, the small things.
Yeah, well, I only laughed because that was one of the first things we talked about was the rage.
Yes. Am I too edgy? Like,
Yeah.
do I need to suit up the alcohol now?
Right.
It's 2 p.m. But I definitely, around our age, we get edgy because in our medicine, the yin is calmed down and giving we call the deficient heat. So the deficient heat kind of rise up, gives like rage.
So a typical midlife woman who's perimenopause, so she's not quite in menopause, so she still has her period. She's having all these symptoms, which is 7 to 10 years of her life, right?
Yeah.
Right.
It could be that. And then they go into menopause. I'm part of them. And then we go into menopause, and then we still have a whole transition after that. So
Right.
I would say it's like, I don't know, 10, 15 years of our life where things are
Changing.
changing and we are up in the air. So what would be a typical routine, or what would you do for this type of woman?
So of course I treat them with acupuncture, but like I give them homework, depending on the
Homework.
person, because I'm just assessing their energy, and I'm trying to help them to less pain or less less uncomfortable their situation. So I usually give them a homework. If they said that like I wake up 3 a.m. in the morning, instead of reaching to the phone, why don't you do breathing exercise? So let's do a 4-7-8 breathing exercise. Breathing for 4, hold for 7, and breathe out for 8. Let's try that one 5 times before you reach the phone. See if you could get back to sleep. Or if you are on the raging on the red light because somebody cut in front of you and now you got caught behind the red light, happens a lot.
Yeah.
Take a deep breath and see if it was. I usually try not to ill wish them.
All right.
Of course, no one does. But I'm just trying to imagine that if they cut in front of me and I cut the red light, I'm assuming they had an explosive diarrhea. They need to go. And that was the only reason cut in front of me. And now I'm sitting the red light. So take a breath. I hope they made it to the bathroom. You know.
And that it was clean, like a Japanese bathroom.
Yeah.
Or maybe not.
Maybe, 8 p.m.
8 p.m., yeah.
That's
7-Eleven.
actually a good way to look at it. But also, I sometimes look at it like someone's telling me to slow down in the universe because maybe I'm going to miss something that I didn't want to be involved in. Does that
Yeah.
make sense?
That's my mom always say.
Yeah, like there's a reason things happen. So sometimes I take a breath and I think, okay, I'm supposed to slow down right now and just get there later.
Right. That's my mom always told me that if this didn't happen, maybe you got in a huge accident.
Right.
Yeah.
So you got saved.
Like the universe is looking out for you.
Yes.
So we just have to put in perspective. So that's part of homework. Homework is to think about the things that are happening, try and some breathing exercises. But when they're in your office for the first appointment consultation, do you spend a whole hour?
I spend an hour and a half with them.
Okay. And at that point, would you do blood test and saliva test and things like that? Or would that come later? Or do you do acupuncture that first time?
Yes.
Okay.
So maybe I answered too quick. When a patient comes very first time, they comes with, let's say, I have anxiety, I'm lethargic all the time, and I cannot sleep. And I usually ask, when did this happen? What caused you to do this one? Was it something happened? We always want to, not blame, but we always want to cause it to, it was because midlife. Mm-hmm. It is midlife. However, something happened in your life that it took your breath away or you couldn't slow down. Something happened. Anything they came to my office is always there is a reason. There's any incident or something triggered your brain that the brain remembered that caused their symptoms to come up. So I always my intake is quite a detailed, really deep, extensive. And then once I know where to kind of in my mind, okay, she said this and this happened and probably this is why. And then I ask them to lay on the table and then I take a pulse and then check their tongue and then touch their abdomens. And then, yes, my confirmation was right. And then I treat them and then I constantly checking their pulse and abdomen throughout the treatment. And if I suspect this is more deeper than I expected,
right,
then I suggest, hey, are you open for the functional testing? Because this is something deeper than I thought. Or sometimes, when is the last time you had a blood work done? And they said 5 years ago. Let's check your blood work.
You said that you check their tongue. What are you checking for with their tongue?
Tongue tells a texture, color, moisture. Sometimes, when you look at your tongue, probably I have right now, there's a kind of scalp looking on the side.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
because you're holding your breath. So the teeth gives a shape. Impression. So we call that it's that person is probably think too much, hold the breath.
That's really interesting.
Thinking a lot. We assume the organ or treatment protocol it relates to, and when we touch the pulse, yes, the organ is indeed tired. Let's boost it back up. And when I touch the abdomen is cannot lie. Sometimes tongue gives a wrong information because what we eat. Sometimes we had a coffee, or sometimes we had blueberries, or sometimes we had strawberries. The tongue color changes. Or people is not drinking enough water that day, but abdomen cannot lie. So when the abdomen, I feel it, and certain places, people it's painful. And then I know it's my diagnosis that yes, this person is indeed having anxiety, but it's anxiety caused by the stress or anxiety, she's making it in her brain. It's kind of like, chasing that, like, foxtail.
Yeah.
So then I would treat it. And if that person is indeed, sometimes it's hard for me to tell them, I think your cortisol is deficient. Your cortisol is causing you to wake you up 3 a.m. But it's hard. Like, how'd you know?
So is it intuition?
It's not necessarily intuition, but sign and symptoms. We call the liver, the organ, certain organ affect, especially like women, we, shed the blood.
Yeah.
And we create the blood, but like liver is affecting the emotions a lot. And we, in general, women is more compassion than male. I don't want to say this is, am I getting in trouble by recognizing male and female right now? But in general, female as a mom or
Right.
women's around our age.
A little more motherly.
Motherly, like, we have
Nurturing.
more emotion.
Yeah.
We give more than we have. And even we don't have any more energy, if somebody says, oh, I need help. Oh, let me help you.
Right.
And we constantly giving mode that exhausts our own chi. And doing so, we get depleted. So in my practice is to depletion, let's add supply.
Is some of that add on homework that you give them to take better care of themselves,
Yes.
in addition to coming to you for the acupuncture and functional medicine? Like, do you say you need to do more of this, A, B, and C?
I do. Sometimes I tell them, why don't you go home and cry?
I love
When's
that.
the last time you
Renee,
cried?
you really like that.
I know.
She loves to cry.
I love to cry.
And just to cry and then let it go.
Mm-hmm.
And then that's it. And then get out
Mm-hmm.
and then change your mindset. You got this. Or sometimes, when's the last time you laugh out loud? Because when you laugh, your diaphragm is move really hard.
I feel like if I laughed really loud, I'd start crying. You kill two birds with one stone.
Yeah, great idea. Well, and laughter makes you feel so good.
Yes, it
You
does.
know, you just feel great when you laugh like that, a belly laugh. It's definitely a, dopamine release.
Yeah,
You just want to keep laughing.
right.
Like when we were younger and we would be I remember in high school, I would get the giggles and I couldn't stop giggling. And I teach high school and I have students and it happens to them. And even though it drives me a little bit cuckoo, I remember what it was like to get the giggles and you just couldn't stop because it feels so good.
Right.
And it's, what do you call it? It's contagious.
Mm-hmm.
The next person next to you is laughing. But I love that. So crying, laughter.
Emotions.
Yeah.
Emotions. And sometimes I do prescribe them Epsom salt bath. It is a great way to detox any pain, inflammation, anything going on, detox, like even foot bath is really good way to kind of detox yourself out. I also tell them to do castor oil. Castor oil is really great way to calm down the inflammation.
And how do you
Yeah, where do they
how
put it
would
on their
you
body?
apply that?
So castor oil, you can buy a castor oil like sprouts.
Yeah.
Even you can buy it probably any store.
Yeah, I've used it to try and grow my eyelashes before and my eyebrows, but I didn't know you could use it for other things.
So you can just put like a little bit castor oil on the paper towel
Okay.
and put directly to the skin. Put the saran wrap and put the heating pad.
Saran wrap and the heating pad. Okay.
And that would like infuse the castor oil through the skin,
Okay.
calm down the inflammation.
Wow.
Does it calm down the inflammation to that area specifically or
Yeah.
just in general?
In that area, so let's say you have like tummy ache or cramping,
Or period cramps?
period clumps. Like
Okay.
you can just put the castor oil, put the saran wrap and the heating pad for like 10-15 minutes.
That's amazing.
Yeah. Great tip.
Yeah, I never knew that. And I do have period cramps every single month. And the first day, they're pretty intense. They pretty much wipe me out for one day.
Oh.
So that's so good to know because that's something I have a heating pad, but I never knew about the castor oil.
Well, it looks like you need to make an appointment.
I know. I've been thinking that this whole time.
You're like, yes, yes, yes.
Please.
Okay, so those wonderful tips. I'm so excited. I think the wellness part too, that it's not traditional medicine. You're not giving us drugs. You're not prescribing. There's alternatives because someone goes to the regular doctor and their just first line is here's some medication, but they're never finding the problem. And it sounds like you're finding the problem. What's the core issue going on here? And let's treat that. And that's so much better.
Well, you're also doing, you said you did an intake. I mean, there's barely an intake. They take your vitals, they ask you a few questions. And, you know, if you take more than 20 minutes of their time, they're looking at their watch and making you feel uncomfortable for asking more questions.
Right. Yeah. So a whole hour is pretty.
That's amazing. I don't know the last time I saw a doctor for a whole hour.
It is.
You don't.
Different.
Not even when I was giving
Never
birth
seen them for an
to
hour.
my children.
Didn't
I think
exist.
they were there for like 4 minutes.
I think it really kind of like gives me is when conventional doctor prescribe medication, but they don't know what kind of nutrients it could deplete from that medication,
That's interesting.
or how long is the medication planned for. Is that to treat certain symptoms, or if I develop other symptom, are they going to give me another medication? What are we treating here?
Yeah.
Are we getting more medications? Are we treating my symptoms? And I feel like they don't treat the symptoms. They diagnose the symptoms and label with the symptoms and give a medication for it. Instead of, for example, blood pressure. High blood pressure, they don't know why that person have a high blood pressure. It's easy to say genetic, or they stress, but they don't help them to find a way to treat the stress, or they don't look at why that person is having that much stress or cannot
Like what's
cope
not
with
functioning properly.
what's not
Right.
functioning. And you know what? Here is a blood pressure medication,
Yeah.
and you're good to go. And next annual check up, you suddenly start having cholesterol issues. Oh, here's another cholesterol medication. Oh, now you have a diabetes too, so here's another diabetes medications. But you cannot take all three together, because guess what? You have to have this hormone replacement medication because your hair is thinning out. Oh, maybe your
It's from the
thyroid is not working.
Yeah, I was just going to say, is that leading to thyroid? I saw that coming.
Yeah, and maybe thyroid is not working, so let's give you the thyroid medications. And before you know, you have a like pill box of, you don't know what you're treating, and you're stuck because doctor didn't tell you what's the exit plan.
Yeah.
Exit plan of getting rid of this medication, how I can get rid of that medication I'm taking or I was prescribed with.
It was never. They
I was
don't want
just
you to
gonna
ever
say,
be off of
there
it. They
is
just want to
no
keep
exit
adding.
plan, right?
Yeah, there's no
because
exit plan.
yeah, there's no exit plan because that wouldn't be financially beneficial.
So it's, for me, if they could change their lifestyle, let's say if they can eat more mindful, healthy diet, then you could walk maybe 7,000 steps a day.
Yeah.
Maybe that will change. And then what's the consequences of trying and change a little bit of lifestyle? Then often I get it's easy for you to say, Noriko, because you don't have a full-time job. Yes, of course it's easy for me to say, but you are the one who's living your life.
Right.
So what is important? Like me nagging you how to spend your day, or you change your lifestyle, find a way, because we all have a 24 hours a day,
Right.
and we need to sleep 7 to 8 hours. And last time I checked, I spent 4 hours on my Instagram. So I'm sure,
Right? Because you can check that these days.
I'm sure I have a time to walk for 30 minutes
Right.
a day.
Don't you feel like some people just want, and they're probably not the patients for you or for anyone, but they just want a quick fix. They want someone or something to just like magically make it fixed. And so they don't want to put the effort in. What do you do with those people? That's hard. That's a lot of.
Well, I think that's so relevant too to the whole cultural difference that obviously we're going to talk about, because I think that's an American cultural thing where, you know, we want the quick fix because we're so busy and we don't have time to take care of ourselves, and we don't have the resources to allocate to take care of ourselves because we're so busy and we have so much on our plate. And it's like a humble brag. Oh, I'm just so busy. I have no time. I did this and I did that. And I think that is a cultural thing, because I don't think we see that in every single culture, which, you know, obviously is a good lead into the whole Japanese take on menopause. So I'm going to go ahead and ask that question just because I think it's a good segue. In Western culture, menopause is often treated like a decline or loss. There's a lot of negative talk about it, especially on Instagram. You either hear people complaining about it or saying how horrible it is. And not to say that it's not horrible, because of course we all have some horrible symptoms. But in Japanese culture, there's the concept of konenki. Can you tell us what konenki means and how it differs from how we talk about menopause in the U.S.?
Yes. So konenki in Japanese is old age period. It's just aging old. We don't look at it as disease. We just look at it as just process of human being. So it is going to happen to everybody, and it's not the disease. So we don't go see doctor to get treated. But difference is we just mindfully know that we eat a more healthier, balanced diet. We walk more because Japan is not car country. Anywhere we go, we walk. So when I go home, I'm easily go 20,000 steps, just daily life. Because if you want to, and then we have a small house, so you go grocery store almost every day to get the fresh fruits, fresh vegetable. And I think we both have a 24 hours a day in people living in USA and then people living in Japan. But I noticed that we live more mindfully. We don't do multitask.
It's more simple.
And so many mistakes happen when we multitask, especially, at least for me lately, anytime I'm multitasking, something fails. That's important because I can't possibly keep all the balls in the air and do well. So it's interesting that you bring up that multitasking piece. I didn't even think about that. So is it something that they don't really do? They just take on one task at a time and try to finish it?
We do. We do take one thing at one time, and we try not to stress out about it. If it's not get it done today, no one died. So let's get it done what we can do mindfully, and let's not stress about it. When we stress about it, I think the hormone get imbalanced. But this country, you have to get it done. It's not nobody's gonna die, but if somebody say bring 24 cupcakes, you have to get the 24 cupcakes right now.
Gosh,
Not free, allergy-free, dairy-free.
That is such a great example because those are the things that used to really stress me out.
Yeah.
When my kids were younger and they would say, I need the 24 cupcakes for the party in my class tomorrow. Right. And it would be 9 p.m. at night. We have to go to the store. No, I have to go to the store. You're going to stay home, right? I'm going to go to the store and get the 24 cupcakes. And they don't have cupcakes. Then you go to another store. Yes, that is such a great example because it's something so insignificant, but then it ends up causing you so much stress.
Yes. So we don't have that in my country. Everything is planned. Oftentimes, our culture is planned. And if it doesn't go planned, it is what it is. But punctuality is really key. So we always have time is planned. We have a train system. And if it's leaving at 7:02, yes, it is leaving at the 7:02, not 7:03, not 7:01. It leaves at 7:02. But I don't think the time concept of this country is not really 7:02. It could be 7:02, you know? Who's watching?
Ish.
7:02-ish. So it's not really regulated. So it goes to extend to the lifestyle. If I eat frappuccino today, I should be okay, but it's not the calorie and the food, you didn't need it, or you didn't have to. If I didn't do it, somebody will do it, and that somebody is getting stressed out, and that person is cutting in front of somebody's lane, and that person get upset. It's kind of like
domino effect.
It's interesting. It affects everybody along the way.
But if that person said, you know what, it was okay, it is what it is, and just laugh it out, and it stopped right there.
So then you don't overwhelm yourselves in your schedules.
Mm-hmm.
And you're not taking on too much.
So we do, in my culture, most of people, we train to have a planner. Even young age, we were trained to have a block system planner. So from 9 to 10, we were studying language. 10 to 11, we are studying math. We always have a block system. We are trained since young age. So we respect those time. For example, if we are studying language, we are studying language, not looking at checking my Instagram and studying languages.
Right.
We do, so when
that would be multitasking.
Right.
Right.
So when we have a meeting with people, oftentimes I noticed, especially going back to Japan, no one has a cell phone on the table.
I noticed that too when I went to Copenhagen to visit my daughter. She's studying abroad, and that is something I noticed. And not only, it was also like young college kids. In every bar, in every cafe, in every restaurant, there was not one cell phone on the table except for mine and my friends. And we were like, we're the only ones doing this. And so we put them away. But I noticed that, and I thought that was so interesting, especially at that age. Mm-hmm. They were playing cards, they were talking, they were laughing, but nobody had cell phones out.
Wow.
I think it's just sad to not to communicating.
I know.
Well, you're not communicating with the people who are right in front of you. You're communicating with people on your phone.
Or maybe imaginary friend on the phone.
Right,
Oh,
we don't
yeah.
even know. It's just, and what's so exciting about Instagram for 4 hours a day, right?
Oh my goodness,
Looking
yeah.
at everybody
The
else.
scrolling Instagram while out with friends. I see that all the time here in the U.S.
I think it's just a habit too. Like I think, for example, my son, he's talking and he's not even looking at the phone, but he's like scrolling, and it's almost like, oh my goodness, you don't even know you're doing this anymore. It's just it's a habit.
It is a habit, and it's a very scary habit. But I think when you reach to our midlife, it's not just the social media. It's constantly someone is texting, even when you're driving.
Right.
Even when you are just trying to go walk, you cannot go walk without phone.
We're accessible every second of the day.
And if you're not accessible, you get stressed about it.
Right.
Yeah, that happens to me at the gym too, because I'll be at the gym and let's say my husband calls me on his way home, or my daughter will call, or now I just try to turn my notifications off. I mean, I can be at the gym for 1 hour and not pick up my phone.
Well, that's the point. Isn't that the point of it?
That's the point.
To just
Yeah.
decompress and just get away from everything.
And why do I have to, I'm just calling to let you know I'm driving home. Great. Have a nice drive. I mean, thank you for sharing. I'm at the gym.
But then if you don't answer, it's like they call out the
Oh, then they start spam calling.
Yes.
National
know?
Guard because
Yeah.
you didn't answer.
National Guard.
Mom's not answering.
What's going on?
I know.
Back to the konenki, because I just think I think it's fascinating, and I know a lot of our listeners are really excited to hear about this, because shifting a mindset is very powerful. I saw a quote on Instagram the other day, and it said something about having a good day is really just changing your mindset or something like that. And I thought that was so interesting, and I wanted to screenshot it because that's pretty powerful. Having a good day is really just changing your mindset. And I think that's true. But anyways, my question here is, do you think the cultural mindset around konenki influences how Japanese women experience this stage of life physically and psychologically?
I think so, because we have to walk to everywhere or ride the bike. We have to be outside, physically outside to get A to B. Here you just get in a car, plug in your phone, not appreciating the surroundings
At all.
at all, and you just go. So there is no mindset changing, shifting, even when we are stressed out. And I'm going to go outside in Japan, and there's a bird chirping, or there's a strong wind came in, my sense changes. And then those small things will change my mindset. Or 5 seconds, it changed the mindset. Like Mel Robbins said, the 5 seconds will change the
5-second rule.
5-second
yeah,
rules.
I love that.
So those small things will change it, but going from the garage to the car, open the garage, and then go, you don't even feel the differences.
Right.
And then on the way, I have to switch it to laundry, to dryer, the washer to dryer.
So we're just overloaded.
I think Americans are overloaded, and I think they are missing a moment of appreciation, moment of gratitude, moment of being you is missing. In Japan, we just appreciate being that moment and try to
Aging gracefully.
Yeah,
And it's an
grateful.
honor to be aging.
It is.
No, that's huge. It's an honor
It's
to
an
be
honor
aging.
to be aging.
Like my mom always said that when bird pooped on my shoulder walking outside, and then I get irritated, and my mom was, oh, that's a good luck poop. I said, how could that be good luck poop on my shoulder? But it's just by she saying that
It's
one,
your mindset.
mindset will change. Oh, then I have a luck today.
Yeah.
Isn't that amazing?
And then you will.
Yes.
That's funny. I always see black crows. And years and years ago when I moved here, I just started seeing them. And everyone thinks that black crows are bad. But I always think they're so good. And every time I see them and they're just sitting there and chirping loud, I think, oh, you're going to give me some good luck today. Yeah. And so I just literally just changed my mindset about black crows. Yeah. I think they're positively wonderful. I don't know if anyone else would agree.
Manifestation. It's manifestation, the positive. I tell my patient that, oh, wish me luck to get into this college. Yes, I'm wishing you luck. And then 2 days later, I get an email from that person. I got into that college.
Yeah. It's putting the goodness out.
Yeah, I'm sending all my friends who wants to go college to your way. No, it's just your mindset. You wanted to be there, and you will be there. And you're always thinking to be there. You can picture yourself. It's manifestation. Changing the mindset is huge right now. And I'm studying the Brain Academy right now, how to change the brain chemistry. So that way I can say the right word at the right moment. So even when people are negative and cannot think positive, especially our time, we can't think positive. Oh, that person didn't call me. Oh, why didn't person call me? You could just go in negative spiral really quick. How could you
overthinking?
Snap out of it? Maybe that person needs just one word of affirmation or one word of let it go is enough for them to kind of bring it back up. And those are the things I learned in my culture. Let it go. It's okay. Things happen. Take a breath, let it go, back up. And those things is a huge difference. And when you look at those, this is just a period of life, of the moment. How you live is up to you. Either you complain, I have hot flashes, I have a night sweat, I have irritability, I didn't. You could write down the complaining, or you could say, I had a hot flash. I guess I worked out this moment, 5 calories down. Or I had a night sweat. I must have worked out in my dream. I must lose weight. You could think in a positive way. That way, it's not fun to go through. It is stressful. But have a joy, a fun sprinkle on the situation you are in, so at least make your mindset shift.
No, that's wonderful advice, and it does make a huge impact. I heard on a Mel Robbins podcast, since we brought her up, she had a guest, and he was talking about how at the end of the night, before he goes to bed, he says out loud to himself or to his wife or whoever's in the room, what went well today. And he'll go back and he'll think, well, this went well and that went well and this went well and that went well. And even on a day where his dad had died that day, he still kept up the habit and talked about what went well, even though his dad died that day. And it was a habit that he started to try and shift his mindset about his day. And it made a huge impact. And I started doing it for a good month with a friend of mine. I would text her and I would say, this is what went well today. And it was a really great habit to start because some days were really rough and I would have to think, okay, what went well? Okay, well, I got some good sleep, or I had a really good lunch. It was so good, the leftovers, or something else happened, But when you look for the good, it's way better than complaining about the bad.
Yeah.
That's so true. That's so true. So I do, before I go sleep, I do let it go meditation. It takes 2 minutes.
How does it go? Let it go meditation.
So when I go into the bed, whatever upset me that day, I let it go. Deep breathe in and deep breathe out, let it go.
Do you say it?
Yes.
Let it go.
Let it go. And then I do let it go like 3 times. And then I picture the most funnest moment I had in my life.
Oh, that's really cool.
And then let that memory, before I go sleep, if you still have a kind that cannot let it go, touch the sternum between the breast. And there's always pain point. There is a pain point. Everybody has the pain point. So press there and breathe into there. And then hold your breath and then let it go. And then continue doing it till you don't feel this pain.
Wow.
And then by the time you tired of breathing in and out, and then you picture yourself with the most fun memory you had. And that is the way I go sleep.
Put you in a happy spot.
Put me in a happy spot. And even if I don't wake up tomorrow, I went to sleep with a happy memory.
Yeah.
Oh, that's incredible.
Yeah. Yeah, that's beautiful.
So I usually like don't bring the fight the next day. I let it go. And then when I see the person, sometimes I remember, you know what? Remember, we let it go. So let it go, Noriko. And then,
Well, and it's so much better for your own physical health to operate like that rather than going to bed with the anger and the rage and with me sometimes when I'm really upset with either, it's usually a family member because those are the people who I love the most, so that it upsets me the most.
Yes.
But if I'm upset with a family member, if they hurt my feelings, it just like settles in me, and then I have such a hard time letting go. It's almost like I don't want to let it go because I want to be really upset about it, But doing that instead, not only would it serve me better, but it would serve the relationship better and the connection I have with them. Because oftentimes they can let it go faster than I can. I don't know why I hold on to it so long. They're like, fine,
because you love the person,
Yeah.
and that really feeling got hurt, and that really stuck to you. Basically, you're in pain.
Yeah.
Because you love them so much, and you care them so much, and that causes you pain. And it's really hard to let it go.
Right.
Because if it was somebody who you don't care,
Right.
okay.
Yeah, it'd be no problem.
Yeah. So I think, just try to breathe it out and then have the good memory. If especially family member, you have lots of good memories with them.
That's true.
Picture
Yeah,
that
it's
one.
nice to like that idea of attaching like the positive memory of them versus just like something random. You know what I mean? Because of course that's also nice, but to make the memory specific to the
Right.
person who's, causing you the pain
Yes.
in
Then
that
you're
moment.
separating them giving you pain to giving you joy.
Yes.
Yes, which is very powerful.
You need
It is
more
very-
joy. You
more
need More
joy.
joy. Okay, so I have two questions, which So what if someone is afraid of needles? What do they do? Like if they're just, oh my God, I think you're afraid of needles.
I'm afraid of needles, but I interestingly can do acupuncture needles because they're very flexible, and for some reason it's not the same. But I'm sure you can speak more to that.
So I did my internship at the Ladies Children's Hospital. I treated very little kids. And oftentimes people come see me because they're afraid of the needles. Because I'm afraid of the needles.
Right, that's what you said in the beginning.
And but I use very tiny needles, and the response I get usually is, that was it.
Yeah.
And yes, that was it.
Have you ever, I don't know if this is a good or bad question. Have you ever left a needle in someone, and what happens if you do?
I'm luckily haven't had the things.
That would be my fear.
When I was working at the hospital, I only used 10 needles because I'm afraid if I leave the needles.
Oh, okay. That's actually really smart.
So I count 10 and then I count 10
Right.
and then that was it. At my practice, I use as much as the needle I want to use. And if I'm getting tired, especially later day, I write it down how many needle I put it in.
Oh, okay.
That's
So-
smart.
Yeah.
And then when I take it out, I count.
Okay. Yeah.
So I'm making sure. But sometimes I think I might have left the needles to one patient. And she said, yeah, there was something sticking on the top of my head. I took
So
it
can
out.
you just pull it out?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
You can just pull it out.
Yeah, there's no like rhyme or reason to pulling it out.
No.
Oh, okay.
So like I just pulled it out and then she brought it the next appointment time. Look,
Nice of
you
her.
know. I said, oh, you took a souvenir? Like, sorry. But oftentimes any acupuncture is very careful because we don't want to leave the needles
Yeah.
to them. But even then, it's not like syringe. It's not huge. And I don't use huge needles.
Do you do cupping?
I do cupping.
I
Oh,
love
I'm so
cupping.
interested in that. I've never
Cupping
done
is
that,
the
but
best. I love it. It just feels like it's literally pulling whatever is going on out of your body.
Yeah, I love cupping too. Sometimes the cupping is too harsh on the person, then I don't do it. But if the necessary, I do cupping, especially neck and shoulder,
yes.
low back pain. I took a Medicup license so that you can do like a lymphatic
Yes.
moving.
Uh-huh.
People loves to kind of like reshape your thigh a little bit.
Yes.
Or facial cupping.
I've had a facial with cupping, and it was hands down the best facial I've ever had. I fell asleep. I never fall asleep.
Yeah.
It was so amazing. I can't even explain.
And you can get the facelift
Yeah.
right away.
Oh,
Is that, do you also do the gua sha?
I do gua
Okay,
sha.
because I love that. I love gua sha.
can you do a gua sha everywhere on your body?
Yes.
Oh.
When I do a microneedling, I do a cosmetic acupuncture as well. And oftentimes I tell them, hey, when you go home with this gua sha, like I like the shape of this kind of shape. I don't know why shape.
Kind of like a boomerang?
Boomerang, yes.
Okay.
And then you go like this. And then I tell them how to do it. And they can just do it when they are like watching their favorite show on the Netflix or what.
Do you sell them in your office? Or you just recommend
don't,
one?
because Amazon have it cheaper.
Yeah.
Than
Is
I
there a
can-
specific kind or are they all the same?
I like jade
Jade.
because it has a cooling
Yeah.
feeling. I like the stainless too if you're gonna go travel because it's kind of easier to clean.
Yeah.
Stainless steel?
Yeah.
Okay.
I've done the gua sha before. I did it a lot during COVID because, we had a lot more time at home.
Yes.
And I
Which is so
loved it.
nice.
Yeah, it felt
That
so
part of COVID
good.
was nice.
It's so good.
Yeah, I would do it especially on my neck because I have a lot of like tension headaches. And so I would do it on the back of my neck before I went to bed and all the way down the sides and then up my face. I would follow like a routine on YouTube. And then I got out of the habit, when life kicked back into gear. But I love gua sha. And you have to use an oil. Do you have one that you recommend, like a type?
I've been searching for that oil for a long time. And I used to make it and it's got hard for me because lots of people want it. And then
Yeah.
like now I have the regulation of the code and so I'm not going to do it. I like the Yina, Y-I-N-A, Yina?
YINA.
I think.
Oil.
Oil,
Well, we'll post what you're
Yeah.
saying on the
Show notes. Yeah.
show
Yeah.
notes.
But I think that's how it's. But I'll double check. I like them when they give me a sample, but it's really expensive, and it's not. Oh, let me give it like 2 drops, and then I'm like really like stretching my skin.
Yeah, you have to have a lot.
How about like
yeah.
something like So I just ordered one product. It just shipped to my office today. I'm gonna try it, see if it is really affordable and clean. For me, it's clean is a huge.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to have a pore to clog in.
Right.
I don't want a bad oil.
What about olive oil?
I think olive oil is okay, but it tends to
Yeah,
clog your pores.
Yeah, it's a little heavy. I used to use one that started with S, but I can't remember. I don't think it was sandalwood. I think it was something else that I read was good to use. Sea buckthorn. I just remembered it. Sea
Okay.
buckthorn oil.
I like that one too.
And that was really nice. It smelled really nice. I can't remember the brand that I used, but I remember using it and loving it when I was doing the gua sha. And then, like I said, lost the routine, but I should definitely pick it back up.
Yeah.
Or I should come to you and you can teach me how to actually do it properly. That would be
I'm
amazing.
happy to. Yeah.
So you have so many things to offer. You've got acupuncture, you have wellness, you have what else? What am I missing? Functional medicine. You have
Cosmetic acupuncture, gua
And
sha,
cupping.
cupping.
Are we missing
Massage.
anything?
Yeah.
Massage.
Well, I don't do massage anymore
Okay.
because it's really take my
Time-consuming, too.
Energy.
energy out.
Yeah, I can imagine.
I don't do, but any acupuncturist can do all the things except maybe functional medicine. You have to get certified. However, any acupuncturist can do cupping. We are trained to do cupping. We are trained to do gua sha. We are trained to do breathing work. And of course, we can do acupuncture. Cosmetic needle is as somebody who trained.
Right.
So there's microneedling. But any acupuncturist should be able to do. It's not necessarily only me. Of course, I want to see everybody, but
Of course. So if someone comes to you and they have their first appointment and you put a plan in place for them for care, what would that look like? Is it every week they need to see you? Is it every month? How often is like to get the best success out of acupuncture sessions?
so it's all depending on the person. However, I like to see them follow up. So let's say I treated a person's neck pain and I treat them, I feel good. When they left my office, they felt good. And I have a follow-up appointment following week and the person said, it lasted that day only. Then let's see you weekly basis. See why it's only lasted one day. Or if the person say like, I still don't have the pain. Week later they come in, I still don't have a pain. Okay, then let's see you in a couple weeks.
Okay.
Or let's see you in a month.
It's individually based.
Individually based.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that was wonderful. I got so much information. Is there anything that you didn't talk about with us that you wanted to touch on?
I think food is a huge one I want to talk about.
Okay.
Oh,
let's talk
I
about
would love
food.
for you to talk about food.
Food is huge different. This country is, we don't eat as much as protein. We don't eat as much as vegetable or fruits. We try to get easy access of quick food because we are so busy.
Yep, back to that busy.
Yep.
But if you could start the day with right food, it would change significantly. Like my breakfast is always the same.
What is it?
Two eggs with spinach and kale and chard.
Okay. One
Scrambled
egg,
Okay, scrambled eggs
spinach, kale.
and
chard.
Swiss chard.
Swiss chard, yeah.
Okay.
And
Scrambled
then,
all together.
all scrambled together
Okay,
with quarter cup of cottage cheese.
I love cottage
It's making
cheese.
a comeback.
It is,
It
and
really
it's
is.
so high in protein.
Yeah, in the almond tortilla.
And an almond tortilla?
Yeah.
Okay.
Where do you get the almond tortilla?
Trader Joe.
I've
Costco.
seen it there, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Costco
Okay.
has a big one.
Okay.
Do you take any supplements?
I do take
And
a
for
lot
midlife
of-
women, what would you suggest is very important as far as supplements?
I personally take lots of supplement because I feel I need it. Even though I watch what I eat, I take fiber as a supplement.
So do I. It's huge.
I take calcium. I take iron. I take omega, CoQ10. I take annatto.
What's that one?
It is the kind of blood vessel, like, because I'm at the age I notice varicose vein, like the spider vein.
Yeah.
So I want to get the vein health. So annatto is some supplement that it helps you to strengthen the vein.
Is it spelled ANATO?
A-N-A, yes, A-T-T-O.
TTO. Okay. Where do you get that?
I like to get it from Design for Health.
Okay.
That is my favorite company.
I have heard of that company.
And if we went to Design for Health, could we get all of those things there?
Yes.
Where is it online or is it somewhere you go in person?
You can go, like, if you want to go get it, if you let me know, I can send you the coupons.
Oh, okay.
Like, my patient can scan it in my office to that QR code,
Beautiful.
and they can get the 10% off.
Okay.
And I can probably give you guys,
Well, why don't we put the Q code
Yes.
up on the website
of course.
and during the, what is the notes on the podcast?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then they can just get it from there, and I can just attach the 10% off coupon.
That's wonderful.
What about magnesium? Because that's getting a lot of attention in midlife.
So magnesium has so many different kind of magnesium, and without knowing what's the differences, while you're taking it. So magnesium to relax your body,
Right.
or magnesium to help you sleep, or magnesium to relax your muscle, or basically you need a magnesium because you're taking the potassium and the calcium, you don't have enough magnesium, or if you're taking medication that deplete your magnesium and you need to just add the magnesium. So depending on why you need a magnesium or what causes your depletion of the magnesium, I usually
For
cater.
brain health.
Yeah, I was just going to
cognitive
ask
health.
that for cognitive health.
That depending on the person's need or person's deficient of, I usually say this is the best magnesium for you based on what you just told me and based on my diagnosis. This is the kind of the magnesium I think you're gonna benefit most. It's not one magnesium fit all,
Right.
but
It depends on your
depending
symptoms.
on what you're looking for from the magnesium.
Okay.
What do you think about seed oils? There's a big thing everyone's talking about, seed oils, and are in all of our foods. I mean, they're in protein drinks and shakes and powders, and everything is made with seed oils because it's a
Certain
good filler.
plant-based butters have them too.
So is it a bad thing?
I don't know. I didn't study enough that like it's all bad things,
Yeah.
all good things. Like
I mean, it's sunflower oil. What else is it? It's just any kind of seed that has an oil. I would think it'd be good.
if you hear it's good, we tend to take every day a lot.
I know we
And
like
then-
spam it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's just then it's not gonna be good because you take too much.
Right.
If I say right now soy product is good for midlife or like in menopause time because we could get the extra little bit boost of the estrogen,
Yes.
and people's gonna start buying tons of soy product,
And then it's not good.
and then that's not good,
Right.
and it could cause the breast cancer or
Right.
any scary disease. So being mindful, having a balance.
I was just going to say, it goes
Diet.
back to what you started with.
Yeah.
The first thing you said was this concept of balance,
Yes.
right? So that goes back to what you said in the very beginning.
So everything is balanced. Supplement is good. I often prescribe them or suggest a supplement when patient comes to see me, but I usually cut them in half because I give them a diet plan as well. This is a
Oh, you do a diet plan too.
Well World, the Design for Health, the reason I really love is a kind of made up plan for them. So let's say I want to be anti-inflammatory diet. Here's the plan for you.
Wow.
Let's stick with 14 days of the anti-inflammatory diet. It gives a shopping list, how to cooking list,
It's amazing.
and
That's
what
really
supplement,
amazing.
everything. So it's my control of the person, and it gives you a reminder as well. Hey, good morning, Renee. Good morning. Did you take this supplement today? Or have you walked today? Have you
Wow.
exercised today? It gives a reminder. It could be too much. However, it's a good reminder.
Yeah. To start the habit.
Start the habit.
Yeah.
And once you go 2 weeks, some patient wants to go entire month. And before they know, it's become their habit of their life that, okay, I wake up 6 o'clock. I have a lemon warm water, warm water with a lemon squeeze. That's how I start the day. And I wait 30 minutes and then have a cup of coffee and then go through the day. And I don't even drink the coffee every morning anymore, but I used to. But I now I
It's nice
don't
with the
think I
lemon
need it.
water. It's enough.
Yeah.
It's like
Well,
something
I
warm.
Do, I do drink the I make homemade lemon, orange, ginger, turmeric, and I make it to the cube on the ice cube,
Oh my goodness.
and then I put the cube in hot water, a cup, and that's my first morning shot.
I love that.
So you make it in ice cubes. That's brilliant.
Yeah. It's I do it once in every 2 weeks.
Like a couple trays.
Yes, that I make
Yeah.
trays.
Oh, that's great.
Because I make it why not? My husband's gonna drink it
Right.
too. So I make a double batch, and then sometimes my kids are oh, I want it.
So can you tell, you said orange. So you do juice of orange, juice of lemon. You do fresh ginger.
I don't do juice, so I just peel the skin.
Okay.
I put everything in the blender.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Did you put the whole orange with the peel?
So I take off the peel.
Okay.
But I want to have the skin, the between
like the
yeah,
pith?
the white.
that white skin.
Yeah, there's a lot of vitamins in
So
that.
orange, lemon, ginger,
And turmeric.
and turmeric.
And then
Orange,
you
lemon, ginger, and
you
turmeric.
blend it, and then you
I
pour it
blend
into
it.
the ice cubes.
Yes. So the reason that I want to have a skin of orange and skin of lemon is I looked it up. It's called a hesperidin. Hesperidin.
Okay.
Hesperdin. And that is help you to blood flow and then balance your autonomic nerve system. And those things is really important when we, especially right
It's like
now.
a health immunity shot,
It is
but homemade.
homemade.
That's brilliant.
Yeah, I'm totally gonna do that.
Yeah, same here.
Tomorrow.
Same. I have orange trees and lemon trees on my property.
Yeah, same.
I'm so excited.
Oh, I'm so jealous.
We'll bring you some.
Thank you. So it's really good. That's how I start, and then I put the reason I do an egg and then those green vegetable is to bring those two food will bring the dopamine and serotonin. So the morning is not everybody wake up a rainbow and unicorn.
Right. I am yeah.
That's so
But-
funny.
Those food help you to increase the dopamine and serotonin to keep you kind of calm and the happy feelings. So at least food will start the day and kind of last till lunchtime.
Well, it's nice because you're setting the tone for your day with what you're putting in your body.
Yes.
And it's the same thing with mindset, right? You're setting the tone for your day with what you put in your mind
Right.
before you go to bed at night.
Right.
Absolutely.
Right? So those two things combined, you're taking care of your psychological health and your physical health through lifestyle medicine, which I think is so powerful.
It is powerful. The food is really supplement is important because it's a supplement.
Right.
Adding stuff, but eating healthy food, know what you're eating.
And you can get a lot of what you need, nutrients, in healthy food.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, and then you're also less inclined to eat something bad. Like yesterday at my work, they had a gathering and they had a bunch of bad food. I mean, there was some good food, but most of it was bad, like brownie bites from Costco, a thing of jelly beans, some of those like shortbread cookies with the chocolate on top. All of it was store-bought, okay? There was nothing homemade or anything. And I made a round and I just took a little bit of everything because I didn't want to be rude and not eat. And I had a stomach ache for probably 4 hours. I had to take 4 Tums just to go to bed. I
Yeah.
did not feel well at all because I try to eat really healthy now. And so anytime, I think it was the jelly beans at the end, honestly, because I had a handful of them and it was just like, why did I do that? But the healthier you eat, you have less desire to eat
Junk.
poorly, you know, because you feel so good. And then I felt so bad yesterday. And I'm gonna have that in my mind. I'm like, never again. I cannot do that. I just have to say, oh, that looks really
Look
good.
at, we have cookies here too.
And I brought cookies, but those are from
They look
Sprouts.
delicious.
But yeah,
But you could also do a kind of placebo effect on like if those gatherings and then like if you don't want to be rude, this is really good for me. So I'm eating this to make myself happy. Then at least your mind knows, you know, tricking your mind. You know, people say acupuncture could be placebo effect. Is it placebo? Maybe, but I don't think so because it's been working for last 1,000 years. It cannot be placebo. But if you could like tell your brain just tiny, oh, this jelly bean is gonna make me feel happy, and then if you eat it, maybe it will make you happy instead of feeling bad.
yeah. As long as I don't have 12.
Right.
Well, maybe you need to see Noriko anyways for your stomach hurting after. What's going on?
Well, you mentioned the bloating too, which I thought was really interesting. I'm guessing with the bloating, that's aligned with the food that the diet that you put them on, or the nutrition plan, I should say, and then the supplements, right? Would that kind of be your course of action with that too?
So one things I probably ask when people said that like, every time I eat, I get bloated.
That's my daughter, my older daughter. She always feels bloated after she eats.
I ask them, are you watching something while you eat? Are you enjoying the food? Because if you're watching something on the Instagram or YouTube or anything, the brain is not registered that like you're eating.
Interesting.
So you want to be register your brain that you are eating, having a conversation, or put the music. We started, let's play everybody's favorite. So like Monday, I choose the music when we eat dinner. And Tuesday, my husband's going to choose. And Wednesday, my son's going to choose.
I love that.
Like, you know, in the background. So we are not looking at the phone.
Dinner music.
Dinner music. We are not looking at the phone. We are not looking at the TV. We are just eating, asking the questions. And sometimes my kids eat really quick because they don't want to be asked questions.
That's funny.
But just eat. But I think mindfully eating will help. If they say like I'm watching a YouTube while I eat, or like let's not watch that YouTube while you're eating, and see the bloating is still there. And then if they say it's still there, then something you're eating is causing you bloating, because your body needs to digest. You need to give a body to know you are eating food.
Right.
And are you moving? If you eat the food and if you immediately sit down on the couch, then body is not going to digest. They try to store. So another thing I recommend is if after you eat dinner, just 2 minutes, just walk around. In the house, outside, go to get the mail, anything, just 2 minutes. Walk around after you eat dinner, before you sit down on the couch, before you sit down on your chair, or before you start even dishes. Just walk around just 2 minutes, so your body knows you just ate the food to digest, not to store. So
I've been doing that lately with Chris. We've been going on a walk right after we eat, about 2 miles.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, I sleep better. We get to talk and have a little conversation.
Yeah.
And it's been really great. I love that. That's a great idea.
Yeah.
It is a great idea. My husband always likes to go for walks after dinner, and sometimes I'm like, ugh, bah humbug, I don't want to go for a walk. But
when you do, it's great.
when I do, it's so great. And 20 minutes, you know, we all have 20 minutes, like you said.
Right.
I have a quick question.
Yes.
So we talk a lot about women in midlife and doing like career shifts and becoming more successful in midlife because of all we've learned and done. Do you feel like you are more powerful now than ever in your career and your career path and knowledge and wisdom than you ever were before?
I don't think so.
Oh, I wasn't expecting that.
I don't think so. I'm always learning. I love learning. I always taking new classes. I always love learning new stuff. My patients sometimes tell me stuff, and then I start digging in, and oh my gosh, I never knew this. I love learning. I don't think I'm wise enough. I'm not smart enough. I'm not knowledgeable enough. I don't think this is still climbing up the hill that where I don't know what is the success. However, I'm content where I am, but I don't think this is it. I think there's more smarter women there. They're always giving me advice, and I disagree sometimes, but I don't think it's a wrong. It's
Right.
just a different point of view, and I always appreciate when people point it out my mistake or my unknowledged information. I love learning new stuff. I'm always curious.
So you just have you have more to go, more
I
to
have
learn.
more to learn.
You haven't even hit the surface yet.
No.
Yeah, I love that. That's beautiful.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Well, it's great to be curious.
I love learning too. I mean, in the medical field or just in the healthcare, just helping people live better is so empowering. And when you learn, then you can share it, just like we're sharing all of this knowledge that we're learning about with other women. It's just, I don't know. I love empowering other people.
I love it too. I love when people said, "Oh, you inspired me."
Yes.
I did?
Yeah. I
That's so
agree.
true. Well, you
Yeah.
definitely inspired us today.
Oh, yes.
thank
We
you.
have so many wonderful little tidbits to incorporate into our lives, and I'm hoping our listeners will do the same.
Oh, I hope
So,
too.
rapid fire questions?
Yeah.
All right. So, Renee's going to do some rapid fire questions.
Okay.
And you can just do short answers.
Okay.
Ready?
Yes. Okay. First one: coffee, tea, or herbal elixir.
Tea.
What's your go-to self-care ritual?
Breathing.
Love that.
Yeah.
One thing you wish you knew about aging when you were 30.
I overthink it.
Oh.
But,
That's actually a good answer.
I don't know. Be patient.
That's
Good
good.
one.
Needles, relaxing or terrifying?
Terrifying.
So ironic.
Expecting that. Favorite guilty pleasure in midlife?
Old me would probably said alcohol, but new me would say spending time alone.
Oh my gosh. I love that too. That's so great.
Yep, I
And
agree.
old me would have said alcohol too. We are aligned in
Yes.
that for sure. What's in your wellness bag right now?
Supplement or a skincare product, or what's like in your bag of goodies?
Something to make yourself feel well.
My kids call me Mary Poppins because I always,
Have everything in your bag?
That's so funny.
so I always carry the Chinese herbs in case,
Chinese herbs.
when I feel like rage, that I can't control with breathing,
Yeah.
I rely on Chinese herbs.
Okay.
There's a really good Chinese herbs to kind of calm yourself down.
Okay.
And
And how do you take them?
I like to take it as it's just powder.
Okay.
But I sell it as a pill form because lots of people cannot
Right.
take as a powder. I grew up with taking a powder medication.
I imagine it absorbs faster.
Yeah.
So you
right?
offered Chinese herbs as well.
I do.
Oh my goodness, we didn't
That's
even talk
amazing.
about that.
It's
Okay.
very powerful. Chinese herbs are very, very, very powerful, and I do take.
So do you dilute it or you just take it
I
as a
just
powder?
take it as is.
Okay.
So like if I feel like in my wellness bag,
Yes.
I have 1, 2, 3, probably 3 herbs all the time. One is when I kind of feel like sick, or when I feel like I might get in a headache.
Okay.
When I'm kind of feel like off balance, I take, it's called a Shao Chai Futan. I take the Chinese herbs. When I feel like I'm gonna rage, I'm gonna probably flip the bird. If that person doesn't move, I probably.
Reach in the bag and just throw a handful down.
So when I feel like, okay, I'm very unreasonable right now, I'm
Yes.
just getting really
That's me, like,
irritated.
70% of my day.
Everything, like, the person say that, like, oh, the sky is clear today. What did you say? I can't
Yes.
really, appreciate. In there, I have a Chinese herb for that one.
And what's that?
It's called the Tianwan Bushendan,
Okay.
so that your brain's really fighting over you and cannot consolidate to calm down.
Okay.
Like, good me and bad me is like trying to fight
Oh, yeah.
over.
Yes.
Yes.
Renee,
and
Renee does
then-
that one a lot, yeah.
Totally.
Other one is when I get upset stomach.
Okay.
Yeah, it's called Baohiwan. So when I overindulge myself, it's rare for me to go out and eat pasta. But when I do, because
It's good.
the moment of fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the friends say, hey, let's go. And, oh, let's go.
Yeah.
And then in the parking lot, I shouldn't have that pasta.
That was me with the jelly beans.
Yeah.
You need the herb.
I know.
I shouldn't have that tiramisu after the pasta.
After the
shouldn't
pasta.
have. Then I take the Chinese herbs to kind of help to kind of digest.
Yeah.
I love that. Okay. Morning person or night owl?
I'm a daytime pigeon.
I love that.
So you wake up early.
Not really. I can wake up early, so I've been waking up 6 o'clock.
That's early, I think.
But
Yeah, that
it's
is
not
early.
because I'm a morning person. I wake up because,
You have to wake up.
You have your habit.
and I'm not night owl because by 8 o'clock I'm quite useless. I still do Duolingo, but then I make so many mistakes and
Because
it
you're
was a moot
tired.
point.
Yeah.
But daytime, I am good to go. I'm like cooing everywhere, try to get all the food. Daytime pigeon is my
I love that. Daytime pigeon. All right. Last one. One word to describe midlife.
roller coaster.
Ooh,
That's a good one, yeah.
that's a great one.
That is absolutely right.
Well, how can people reach you?
Oh, yes. Yes, yes.
Because I'm sure some people are going to want to come see you now after this episode.
They can look me up on the website,
What's your website?
www.udealang acupuncture.com.
Okay.
And we'll link that in the show notes for everyone.
Did you have an Instagram?
I do at Dr. Udea-Lang.
Just Dr. Udea-Lang.
Yeah, I think there's a hyphen
Okay.
somewhere.
Again,
we'll link that
We'll
too.
link that too.
And then if you're in San Diego, you have an office and you can schedule an appointment
Yes.
through your website.
I still like to be emailed.
Okay.
Emailed. Okay.
Yeah, through the website, like you can email me. If you're San Diego, my office is Rancho Penasquito.
Okay.
I love my location.
It's such a great location. Well, thank you so much for joining us today. And a huge thank you again to Dr. Noriko Udea-Lang for sharing your wisdom and experience with us. If today's conversation resonated with you, we hope it's a reminder that midlife isn't about settling. It's about reconnecting with what makes you strong, healthy, and alive. And I'm going to add balanced.
At Crazy Stupid Midlife, we believe this chapter is full of possibility, new beginnings, and yes, a little craziness in the best way. If you loved this episode, it would mean so much if you subscribed, left us a review, and shared it with a friend who could use a little midlife inspiration too. Coming up next, we're diving into a topic that's on a lot of midlife minds: hormone replacement therapy. I will break down the basics of HRT, what it is, what it isn't, and some common myths, while Renee will open up about her own personal journey navigating hormones, health, and finding the right path for her. It's an honest, informative, and real conversation you won't want to miss.
So we want to thank you all for listening today. We appreciate your interest and support. Until next time, stay curious, stay open, and just a little bit crazy.